Donald Trump, that he's absolutely unstoppable. He really believes that he's the king that these knee benders tell him that he is. And so he comes to our state to grab even more power in the form of these 5 congressional districts, including Mark BC's right here. He thinks that we are going to take it right here, but he doesn't understand in Texas, our knees do not bend. That doesn't work here. We're going to fight these motherfuckers for as long as it takes. Everything we got. We're never getting in, we're never giving up, and we're never bending the knee. Are you with me? This guy and these Republicans are running scared. They're in full panic mode. That is why Greg Abbott is trying to remove these House Democrats from office. That's why he's threatening to charge them with second-degree felonies. That's why he's threatening to hunt them down with state troopers, now with Kash Patel, who was busy covering up for Donald Trump's involvement with Jeffrey Epstein, now sending the FBI to go try to find these folks in Illinois or wherever they may be right now. They are panicking because he gets that if he cannot steal these 5 seats, his policies are so deeply unpopular in America, whether it's cutting millions off of Medicaid, whether it's these Gestapo tactics that are terrorizing our fellow Americans all across this country, or the massive transfer of wealth in the hundreds of billions of dollars that you generated that is now being sent to the wealthiest 1% in this country. There is no way that he can win the 2026 elections on that record without cheating. So he comes to us. But listen, I don't think he understands what he's up against here in Texas. Not only is it the folks who are here right now, not only is it those 54 brave Democrats who broke quorum to deny them the numbers to redraw these maps, but it is everyday Texans in every single part of the state. And perhaps the last place they'd expect to see us coming is Tarrant County, Texas, right here in Fort Worth. But Donald Trump, here we are. You have met your match. And we're going to fight him each and every day with everything that we've got. Because listen, if we allow them to steal the election of 2026 right now, in the summer of 2025, that consolidation of authoritarian power that we've been warning each other about, I think it is almost unstoppable after then. And that means more masked, plainclothes federal agents without warrants or badges sweeping our fellow Americans up off the streets. That means more of Trump's and Abbott's and Paxton's political opponents targeted for vengeance and persecution, and yes, even for political violence. And it means that if we do not return Mark BC to that Congress, if we do not win a majority, then a Republican majority, those quisling, corrupt cowards, they will roll out the red carpet for a 3rd Trump term, and we cannot allow that to pass. Are you with me on this? That is what we've got to stop. And so we tell ourselves that we must fight. But let us no longer say that we're going to fight back, or that we're going to react, or that we're going to respond, or even that we are going to form the resistance. Instead of fighting back, let's take the fight to them. Let's get off of the back foot, onto the front foot, off of defense, onto offense. Let's take this to every fucking county in the state of Texas, every state in the union, everywhere we have to go. Meet them on every front. Fight until we win. And what that looks like. You know, as Elisa Simmons said, I was sued by Ken Paxton not once, but twice this week. But we didn't react, we didn't respond, we didn't defend. We took this fight right back to him, and we sued him in court in El Paso, Texas. He tried to stop us from holding this rally here today in Fort Worth. He tried to stop us from raising money to support these Democrats in the fight. He lost. And one of the worst things that we could do to Ken Paxton is to right now choose to donate to have the backs of these fighters by texting FIGHT to 20377. Text FIGHT to 20377. He is trying to stop us from raising the resources they need to ultimately prevail and come through, and we are not going to let him stop us. Are you with me on that? It also means, as Mark was saying earlier, we don't await the punch thrown by these would-be fascists to land. We punch first, and we punch harder. We want California and New Jersey and Illinois and Maryland and every other state where the Democrats hold the governor's mansion, the assembly, and the state senate to redraw their congressional districts now, not wait for Texas to move first, to maximize Democratic Party advantage. Listen, you may say to yourself, well, those aren't the rules. There are no refs in this game. Fuck the rules. We are going to win whatever it takes. We're going to take this to them in every way that we can. It means joining the Tarrant County Democratic Party and going out there and meeting those voters now in 2025 who are going to decide that election in 2026. It means signing up with Powered by People, where we will train you to become a volunteer deputy registrar, and we'll send you out where we know that there are eligible voters who are not yet on the rolls, likely to be Democrats, and we bring them on and then stay in touch with them throughout the voting process to navigate these obscenely complex voting laws in the state of Texas to make sure they cast a ballot. Check this out. Last year, the voting rate for 18 to 29-year-olds across the country was 42%. Texas typically performs lower. Those 18 to 29-year-olds that we registered and Powered by People and stayed in touch with turned out at a rate of 79% in the election last year. So let's get more of them onto the rolls, turn more of them out to vote, and win more elections up and down the ballot. But in addition to fighting these fuckers, we have to do something else. I'm paraphrasing what Elisa Simmons would say. Bad influence on me. Great influence on me. We also have to be able to tell ourselves and our family and our friends and our fellow citizens just what we are fighting for, right? I think in previous elections, maybe in 2024, maybe in 2016, it was all about how bad the other side was, and they were really bad, and that was a legitimate argument. But what enough of our fellow Americans didn't hear is how this country would be better, how it would be different, how we would change it to improve their lives and to replace a system that has not worked for millions of us so that we have a system that works for all of us. So I'll give you an example. In 2024, there were a hell of a lot of Democrats, including at the very top of the ticket, talking about saving democracy. And there were a lot of people in Texas who were like, what the fuck are you trying to save? It is harder to cast a ballot in this state. It is harder to register in this state than any other in the union. I don't think that's a democracy. In this state and in others, you can spend an unlimited amount of money. Elon Musk spent $300 million trying to purchase the outcome for his preferred candidate for the presidency. That does not sound like a democracy. In this country, thanks to Citizens United, corporations are equated to people. Money is speech. Corporations can spend unlimited amounts of money trying to purchase the outcomes, not just of elections, but of legislation and the future of this country. And you don't think it's a democracy when members of Congress can choose their own voters instead of the other way around. So instead of trying to save something that wasn't working for us, how about we build something that's worth saving in the first place? Voting Rights Adjustment Act so we can vote in the state of Texas, get big money out of politics, remove politicians from redistricting, and return the power, all of the power, back to the people. But this political democracy that I'm talking about will not be possible if we don't also have an economic democracy. Because if folks cannot get what they need from a government of the many, soon enough, they're going to be open to getting what they need from a government of the few, or a government even of only one. And what they're asking for is not a lot. Like, what if we guaranteed that if you work one job, that is enough?